Hey YouTube fam, it's your host and buddy John Wayne here with Hook to Hunt. We're over here with a high school buddy of mine, Matt Nebel. We're down here at his place. We're going to talk about a hobby of his. But before we get into that hobby, make sure to like, share, subscribe, become part of the Hook to Hunt tribe. So Matt, tell us about your hobby a little bit.
Well,
what you do.
I had this bright idea one day to start a deer farm, so I ended up going through with it, and I enjoyed it. It's been good, it's been some bad, but overall, I'm happy with it. Things are going pretty good.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, probably. I would. Yeah.
So we're going to go through some questions with Matt. We're going to show you his deer, go through his pens, and he's going to show you where these come from and what they turned into. This is the deer.
Yeah. It's deer at 2, and he's the big boy in the pen. And he had antler damage at
This
1
is a 2-year-old.
Yeah. That's why the rack's different both sides, but he's got his mass, his main beam length. Yeah, he turned in something special, so we'll give him some ladies this fall.
I'm interested to see what they turn into next spring.
Look, it's a baby deer.
Should be a good spring.
It's a baby deer.
What do you got for fawns right now, then?
We got these 2 does that we're gonna keep. These will be our breeders. And we got 7 buck fawns.
7 buck fawns, huh?
Yeah.
You probably like that, huh?
I did sell 1 doe fawn. She went a month and a half ago to a guy up the road that just wanted a couple of pets.
So how long do they keep their spots?
You'll start getting in September.
Yeah. What are you feeding them?
These little guys?
Yeah. For milk, I mean, what kind of?
Oh, I'm using record rack milk replacer.
Okay.
And I'm mixing that half and half with just regular whole milk red cap from the grocery store.
I think it's gone. I think you ate it all.
Yep. Fucking air now.
You're gonna suck air?
But now these, I mean, they're hitting the feed hard.
Yeah.
So I mix calf manna with my normal feed, and
these
that's what they're
are
on.
these doe fawns or?
That'll be some cool picture. That'll be some cool video.
That's all we bottle feed. Try to bottle feed, just doe.
Just close up. You
They
try to keep them kind of
gotta
wild,
keep you
right?
out because they will take you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The buck fawns will?
Well, when they get mature during the rut and they're bottle fed, it can be a scary deal. So,
Gotcha.
but the does, we try to keep all our does bottled.
How old is this doe here?
What is it, Macy? She's 4.
4.
Yeah.
That's a big doe. Yeah, she's a big doe.
She's probably what, 2, 3?
She's actually a yearling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's only a yearling? They're
Okay.
Yeah,
they're pretty good size for
we actually
being a yearling.
lost her fawn, but she got, she took at 6 months old. So.
Really?
Yeah. Both our yearlings have fawns. That's cool.
How'd you get into that?
Always wanted to do it. Seen a few deer farms down in southern Iowa. Was driving by, thought it was cool,
Yeah.
and obsessed with hunting. Bow hunting, obviously, once you get hooked
Oh yeah.
on that.
Oh yeah.
So you just kind of need more, and I just kind of jumped into it. Wanted to actually see the animals, raise my own herd, let the bucks grow. Instead of some neighbor taking them out, and they're 2.
Yeah, no kidding.
These bottle feds will hopefully spend their whole lives here, so it's too much work bottle feeding them. It's 3 months. Start 3 times a day. 2nd month, twice a day, and that 3rd month, once a day, and still wean.
So when you first got into it, what'd you get into it? Just doe or what?
What I first bought,
Yeah.
I bought 2 does, and I was gonna get them early, and then I said, hey, we can throw them in with that buck. So at this guy's farm down, so the guy got me started just south here a little ways.
Yep.
And so we threw them in there. One was a young doe, one was a mature one, and one took, and we had twin buck fawns that following spring, so it worked out good. And our big typical was actually one of the first fawns. He came out 2nd actually, with his wound brother there, but he came out and we actually drew semen from him. It turned out to be awesome. I got a lot of attention, for him, and yeah, a lot of our genetics are him now. So
Do you guys do a lot of artificial insemination then, or?
yeah, we're a closed herd.
Yeah.
So we don't bring any deer anymore. No, whatever my original stock I brought in, that's it.
No, go get Jordan.
So
So you don't actually let the deer breed. You just.
I do if I get a nice buck, I can breed certain lines with
Gotcha.
that buck. But no, our does we AI.
So you don't bring in
Fresh
you don't bring in semen from outside or nothing like that.
Well, when we AI, we use that semen, we bring that in, but we never bring any more deer in. So our fresh genetics come from AI.
Gotcha.
So, and we're doing 4 of them this fall, and then I'm live breeding the rest with Missy, the big boy, if he ever comes up here.
I think I seen him kind of walk through.
Yeah, he's gonna be our breeder for us, so hopefully.
How old's the oldest buck you guys got?
The oldest one we got now is, I got 2 3-year-olds.
2 3-year-olds.
And we kept that big typical till he was 4. That's the oldest I've ever kept. 2 of them are out of that.
So she'll has the potential to throw some good fawn.
I mean, you don't know, you don't have your dose figured out till 5 or 6.
Really?
No, I mean, it takes them a while. Some don't have buck fawns, right? You don't know what they're throwing. So
Is there determination in what they have as far as buck or doe?
there's not really.
Because like with eggs, you know, like alligators, if it's a certain temperature, you'll have more males or more females.
Some guys keep them contained in a smaller pen a little bit, stress them a little bit, seems to throw bucks. I mean, there's some products out there that people are using now. I don't think it went over very well last year. So I just let it happen, see what happens in the spring, see what you end up with.
So raising deer, what has it taught you? What one thing it's taught you? It made you a better hunter.
It's made me more comfortable in the stand.
Yeah.
So not shaking, you know, when a nice buck comes by, because I'm around them all the time. And I'm a little more selective, obviously, with what I take.
Has it made you feel any differently because you raise them? Because that's one thing I always like. I've always thought about raising them. It's like I don't know if I could kill them if I had to raise them.
Absolutely not. Wild deer drive me crazy. So no, it does not affect me one bit. That no. It has calmed me down a little bit. I was
So you don't get the
every
jitters as bad.
Well, I mean, as far as hunting all the time too. I was every night after work, nonstop.
So you're probably liking that, huh? Yeah, a little bit.
Depends on the week.
So I'm, that's what I do. I kind of take care of these deer. And
This is
I'm
your
around
hobby.
here. Yeah, I'm here at least.
Yeah.
Home. So
So you got them all basically separated by family.
right now, everything when breeding season comes, then I start separating everything.
Gotcha.
So I basically have 2 lines. I got Macy's line, and that was for my original. The guy that helped me down south here.
Yep.
And then I bought another doe from a guy in Iowa here,
Okay.
and we've kind of kept all her offspring. And she's proven. She's only given us 1 buck. She's given us 2, and she had 2 this spring. But 1 made it to mature. The other one died as a fawn. I think it got stomped. And that buck was awesome as a 2-year-old. So he was well over 200 inches at it too. So she's
200 at 2.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Are you giving them any sort of mineral?
Just what's in the feed. Only I give them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Can't give you my secret recipe,
No,
but
but you're not. I mean, you're not like giving them any special like mineral off the shelf or anything.
there's
like
a lot of products out there. Obviously, you know that
Yeah.
for the wild.
Yeah.
But no, there's some other stuff.
And you're still getting 200 at 2 years old.
It's all genetics. That's the most important thing. Obviously, you want to feed them well and give them proper nutrition, but they can only take in so much.
Yeah.
The old girl right here.
This is where that's her
Sorry, natural
where it all
reaction.
started from.
I mean, I've had some small. But when I first started this whole deal, those does I bought were not bottle fed, and it was fence crashing, just terrible.
Yeah, oh, I can see.
And so we said enough of that. We gotta have bottle feds. You know, 'cause you guys wouldn't be able to be in this pen right now if we didn't have bottle fed. I mean,
Really,
yeah,
they
all
get
the
that.
bucks are calm from their moms being calm, and
That one's cool. She got a little white stripe on her nose.
It's actually, she got that started up. Or
Just
kinda
scarred
cut it
huh?
open, yeah, and it stuck with her. And it grew back that way.
Oh, hey. They all followed right up. This is cool. Sneaky.
Yeah, she's that other. The 14 over there behind that little one, she's 32 stitches.
What is? Oh,
Daughter,
okay.
too.
Yep.
Those
I
two
do
are-
remember you showing
Those
that.
two are womb.
She's starting to lose her summer coat already, or
Yep.
is that just a scar?
No, we got one in here that's starting to.
Yeah, she's
There's some other farms too that are
right here.
starting to have that winter coat come through.
It's crazy. I don't know. You get any kind of weather pattern off them?
It is nice to see if they're up and moving. I do, to answer your question before a little bit, I guess I do look at that if they're up on their feet during the rut. Like I'll come out here and everything's just bedded down. I'm like, okay, I have used that before. And if they're up,
If they're up moving here,
yeah,
you
then I have hit the stand,
Oh, here they come, Keith. Here they come. So how old are these bucks?
These two are womb brothers, 3-year-old.
Those are 3-year-olds.
Yep. But the one with the drops, he's going to be the breeder.
You gotta keep that one then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He's out of our. These three, the biggest ones, are all out of that typical
Really?
that we had. Yeah, that was born here. He's a 2-year-old.
That's a 2-year-old?
Yep. I know. I should
I'd love to see a 2-year-old like that out there. Are you gonna keep him for another year or what?
I don't think so. He's 2. I was kind of disappointed in him, but they can't all be good.
3-year-old and those two are 3-year-olds.
Yep. And two. Both of them are 2, and then the yearlings are.
That's kind of cool. They come out.
Yeah, they know their pecking order.
That is a monster 2-year-old. Yeah, it is. Even that yearling. And that's a yearling right here, or is that a 2-year-old?
He's actually the one in the back is smaller. This one here is actually.
Is that the biggest jump for you think then, between 1 and 2? For you?
I'd say, yeah. That's where you really see. Well, that's when you see what they are, what they're gonna turn out to be like.
Come here. They're gonna eat your chips otherwise. Get over here. How many deer do you have on farm?
What are we at? 23, I believe.
Is that with the fawns? Or?
That's what they're, yeah, everything. I kind of had to wait till this new pen was built to get any bigger just because things were getting a little tight, so.
Do you have some over in the other pen?
Nothing yet.
Nothing
nope,
yet?
It's not done. Nope. It's almost done. I got gates split up and clip in a few things and we're good to go. We'll give some animal crackers later. That's their diet.
Animal crackers.
Yeah.
Tell them no. Come here, give me the chips. Give me the chips. Whoa. Give me the chips. Daddy, hold them.
They're going to give us a close-up. Guys, be quiet.
Shh. So this one in front here is 2-year-old, right?
Yep.
That's a yearling.
Yep. That clean 6x6. He's pretty cool. He's got some height on him.
So now the bucks are sending the younger ones through first.
But when you see this, the one I'm going to breed with come out, you can just see how much bigger his body is and how he carries his rack. And
Oh yeah. I don't know, man.
yeah, he's a late pusher too.
Oh, here comes the little guy. Now that's a bachelor group, right? I want to go hang out at the bachelor party.
Yeah, next year should be cool. Them 7. A lot of them are all AI. I mean, different genetics all over the United States. It should be.
That's pretty neat. When you get to grow up with this, it's cool. Right?
I think the boys are about done helping build the fence. Burn out.
Like this double fence here, is it a requirement to have for like CWD or anything, or
Nope, the only thing Iowa requires is single 8-foot.
so an
I
8-foot
just-
fence is required?
Yep.
But you do it for safety and
Feel
for
more
precaution.
comfortable, yeah. Like I was telling you earlier, I was watering the bucks, and all of a sudden a doe came right behind me and jumped in the buck pen tonight. So I mean, I just don't want to deal with that.
So like the bucks are in their own pen right now.
Yep.
Is there? I mean, will they fight with the does or anything? Or?
Right now they're pretty calm. As soon as they lose that velvet, it's on. It's that quick.
Yeah.
They start fighting each other, and then they start pacing this fence.
What do you do? I mean, to prevent that, do you just separate the bucks right away? Or
If
do
I'm
you,
live breeding, the best thing to do is get that buck out of there right away. Get him over with his does, and
so
you're
whatever
good.
buck you're gonna keep
Yep.
live breeding, get him out. Do you cut his horns off then, or do you let him keep them all year?
I
Or?
have let him keep it. Last year, I stuck that one of those yearlings in to back up AI, and he just started going after him. So I had to knock him down that day and cut his rack off. So, but yes, in the beginning, I was knocking everything down and cutting the rack. And now I've my buck numbers are down. So if I got one mature one in there with some yearlings, I usually leave him because he's the boss. Yearlings don't fight too bad.
Pecking order's pretty much
Yep.
established.
Exactly. But there is some, I've used magnesium before. Mix
Magnesium.
that in right in the feed.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
that
They
calms
use that
them
with
down.
hog feed.
Calms them down.
Yeah. I've done that, and that seems to work pretty good. There's some other stuff on the market. 2 different products. I tried both. They're expensive, so I stopped using them. One worked, one didn't. But if someone wanted to just have a couple pets, it's not that big a deal. If you don't want to sell or move them, it's not that big a deal. You just got to have build the pen, get it inspected. One of the state vets will come over and check it out and give you the okay, and you can purchase deer. So
Really, there's no
Yeah, we
like legal certifications or anything.
you got to get a health paper.
Okay.
So
For each
like
deer.
that
though?
one I sold up here, yep, I had to have the vet come out, look at it, and give the okay, and send her up there with my tags in it. And now he's got a couple pets. Now, if you want to move them, a lot more.
Is it?
Yeah, but you got to be, if you want to be in the CWD program, anything over a year old that dies on your place, it's got to be tested.
Gotcha.
So, and then you want to move out of state,
Also, if you're
you gotta-
transferring the deer from.
yep, you got to be TB and brucellosis tested, and I got to do that. I got to put my whole herd down here as soon as they lose velvet and a little cooler temps. I'll put them all down. We have to draw blood. Vet will have to come out, test them all.
All for CWD before anything.
No, the TB and brucellosis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. CWD. There is a live testing for CWD that they're starting to get into a little bit. No, otherwise it's pretty much, it's got to be dead.
Oh.
Yeah. To test. So,
So what do you do? You said you get rid of them at a certain age or whatever. What do you do with them?
they usually go to the preserves. They usually sell the preserves, and they either use them to improve their genetics, or eventually they'll get called there. So, can't keep them all, you know.
Yeah. That's why we hunt them.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's why you hunt. You keep the numbers down a little bit.
Yep.
Pretty cool, man. They're my favorite animals. Oh, for
Yeah, exactly.
And then people ask me, how can you hunt them? It's not about killing them. I just like watching.
Oh yeah, you get a hot day here in the rut, there's nothing like it, you know. Nothing like it.
So what's the best? I mean, your fawn. What's the most you've had pregnancy-wise?
As far as like,
Triplets or
oh no, I've had quads.
quad?
Yeah, and that doesn't go very well. I've never had that go well. This spring we had quads, and 3 of them made it. One was stillborn, and then actually number 6, one they call Macy.
Yep.
She was part of a quad. 2 died, and then she was just left there, just ditched.
Really?
Oh yeah. So we sat there, got it temp up. I just laid with it all night long. Laura rubbed on that thing, you know, hot towels in the dryer, back out. Gets temp up, and we had a lot of problems. It didn't get its claustrum and stuff, but she made it, and she's got all them beautiful sons out there. So glad we saved her.
Here, don't eat apples, do they? So these are all the baby bucks,
Can you
huh?
get the cup?
Are they all up here? 4, 6 of them missing. All that one down there.
That don't have triplets, though?
No.
No.
I've had fawns going to all different mothers, all nurse them off, whatever. Yeah, it's a free for all.
This is a big one, ain't it? It's really neat. Anything else you want to add, Matt?
No, I can show you guys things over there. I'll show you that typical. I was born here.
That big one you got, what do you put him at, inch-wise?
I was hoping 250. I don't know if he'll make it or not.
Jeez, that's
We'll see.
insane.
Might not
That's
quite
ins-
230, 250.
What's the biggest one you've had?
I've had a 250 before, but he did not look good.
No.
He was actually a beautiful 2-year-old, and he damaged himself.
Oh.
And there's just stuff everywhere. But he wasn't pretty. But he was awesome 2-year-old. Actually, I can show you before you guys leave his racks on our chandelier.
Okay.
Got a lot of antlers around here. I had to use them up.
I bet. When do you see the buck start getting a little hormonal then? As soon as that velvet starts
As soon as the
coming out?
velvet's off, yep.
Do they lose it differently? Do the
I mean,
younger
they're
ones
not-
lose it first, or?
Just depends. And I mean, you can look at them and know. I mean, they start drying up.
So I mean, it's not the older ones lose it first, or the
It
younger
just-
ones lose it just.
Some are late borns, so they're still pushing.
Yeah.
You know, they're born late. But yeah, it just depends. But pretty much around that September 1st, they're pretty much
Yeah.
blood everywhere.
Well,
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Make her today. She got into the buck pen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I told him.
These little guys are coming out.
I think that's a yearling. That's insane. I've never seen a yearling like that before.
That good 2-year-old, he was the best yearling I ever had last year. He was awesome. Big, nice, 5x5.
He's got to be pushing 180 at
Oh,
least.
that's where I had him, in the 180s.
That's insane. 180.
But I mean, he's got clean
Yeah,
frame
that's,
too.
that's what I
When you're
really-
hitting that, when you're clean, I mean, got them nice long main beams.
So which one? You said there's 2 leaving September. Which ones are leaving?
Him, Brian, that tall one. The tall one I thought would jump a little bit more. He was a really good 2-year-old. He had that 7-point size. But he did. I don't know if he's from he ruts hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that sent me up the fence. He's the only deer that's ever put me up the fence. He came at me and I just went right up the fence. He just sat there.
I go in with
Hopefully it was one of these.
It was down here, but
I
they're
go in with the dog and the bat if he's gone hunting. It's bad.
but he's the friendliest one. That's what I'm saying. You get them friendly ones in the summer and all that, and then all of a sudden he wants to take you out as soon as that rut.
It's all game over as soon as that hits.
I'd say things get real nasty. Kind of start to get October and things.
Yeah. Get that
I've
cold.
had some scary
them cold
moments in
fronts.
December. Actually,
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Cutting off is for your safety is not a bad thing.
So cutting them off, you just knock them out then for that.
Yep. I have seen guys running through the chute, cut them off before.
I seen the one video of them cutting off, man.
Oh,
Bloody mess.
are you talking when they're in velvet?
Yeah.
Because when they're hard horn, you don't.
No.
No big mouth goes right through. You're done. But velvet, yeah, it's.
I seen them. They cut them off from velvet. And it
I've
was
had to do
bloody
it.
mess.
Yeah, I've had to do it a few times. And I usually twist the wire at bases, twist it off. You know, cut that circulation off.
A yearling too.
Thought he'd do better. He was a decent yearling. Yeah, they're starting to work their way up.
Oh yeah, here comes the big boy. That's that 180, isn't it?
Start. They're in the rut when they start snort wheezing at you. That's when you know. All right.
I caught it on trail camera once, a video, Kelly. One buck chased another buck, like off the screen. They walked off the screen, and it was like completely. But that extra 10 seconds of video, you could hear. I was like, that's crazy. I think I'm gonna get rid of my dogs and get some deer. You guys are more friendly. So this
time
one,
of year they're-
this one you're thinking roughly 180 thing that we're looking at right here. To the right. Or no, that's
No,
your,
that's the big
your,
boy.
That's your giant.
That's probably what, 230, maybe plus.
230
I
plus.
don't think with all this junk. Hoping to get 250, I'll take 240. We'll find out.
Well, you still got a little bit of time, yeah. How much do
We're
they?
gonna cut him.
How much do they grow in a day? At the max.
Personally, I've probably noticed an inch
Yeah.
during. Yeah. That's what I've kind of heard, an inch or sometimes plus a day when it's prime time.
She went on my brakes.
Been in the house for a while.
Yeah, that's one I can answer it over and over again if you just can't get enough.
He is also the only one that has ever been mean to her kids.
Yeah.
You gotta watch her when she has
Strangest
fawns. She will paw you.
Yeah.
I've seen some nasty fights out here between bucks. Usually the spring. I put them. A lot of guys will run different age groups and different
Yep.
plans. I obviously don't have the room for it, so I run them. But as soon as they shed, even their bases that are cut or whatever, when the last one's done, put them all back together. Just that, March, April kind of
Yeah.
there. And it seems to.
So
I don't take them in or out.
So
You
you
know,
kick them out once they get their hard horn. You kick them out and separate them completely. Then.
No. The hard horns, they'll stay. I'm
Yeah.
talking when they shed.
Okay.
When everything's got to the breeders come back. I'm talking
Yeah.
in the spring, March or early spring. So I'll put them all back in here.
Do I taste good or something? Or?
But you get some nasty fights when you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be on there. The ones that always win are standing straight up, just pawing.
Boxing.
The ones that try to stay low, they take a whooping.
Opposite of football, huh?
Exactly.
Got some animal crackers.
Who knew deer love animal crackers?
Right? This one's like, hey.
There's a big one right there.
Another? And here we go. Not 3-year-old. What do you think he's close?
180 for sure. Easy.
Hopefully it's
He'll be pushing. I'd say he's pushing 190 for sure. I got a 171 and he's bigger than that.
I don't know what he's 3 though.
Oh yeah, V3s are definitely. Get some nice ones, V4s. Really love hitting that clover at night, huh?
So don't feed, then go quarter. Feed a little bit, and then quarter. They don't munch on the feed very long. I mean, you
No.
think they just sit there and
No, they
nope, they gotta give it
get a little
break.
bit of it and then eat this meat guy. This is cool. He's neat. He's neat looking.
Yeah, I mean,
Not what you're going for, but
who knows what you're doing. Like I said, you can't. You could do a simple frame next time.
really.
Yeah, that messed up. Oh, who that is down there?
You give
I
around.
think that's the old.
Yeah, I think that's Princess, North
Jill.
Carolina.
She'll be with him this fall. So this is my EHD fighter right here.
You gotta be quiet.
Every night I'll run this around the pond, mainly the pond for sure, and then around the whole pen, trying to kill the midge, so prevent EHD. And then alfalfa hay is what I feed in the winter, and it's actually fermented alfalfa using apple cider vinegar. So it's got all good bacteria in it. I've had really good luck with that. Fawns really like it. And he's actually in Iowa. That makes that in Appleton, Iowa. So you can look him up. And here's, I would say, our first good one, the one we drew semen on. And that's a lot of his sons are out there. 4 of them are his sons. And he's like 206, 207.
That's awesome. The matching little hooks.
At 3, and then he went to 222 at 4.
What was he as a yearling?
Yearling, he's in Chandler too, just a 5x5, nothing. 2-year-old, he had a nice same frame, just shorter. But
What's his spread on that?
it's like almost 28. She holds that. That's some bone.
I'd like to be standing behind this.
For sure.
I'd be happy with that. That is awesome.
Yeah, got lucky with him. Use cool toys like this. That's the dart gun.
Dark
One
gun,
of them. I
huh?
got another one too that I kind of use more than that one because that one's a little fancy for me.
This one or the other one?
I thought I needed that one, and it's a little touchy, but I use my old one more.
A little old school.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a
Yeah,
dart in your neck.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Tricks of the trade, you got to get in and know that stuff, huh?
Like I said, everything. I mean, you can take your time with it and purchase a few things every year, but everything's pricey.
Yeah. So, if someone wants to get in it, what's the biggest thing? Like starting out wise.
Biggest thing I can tell you is go visit deer farm. Talk to them all. Get the positives, get the negatives. And then see if you still want to do it. And start pricing some stuff out. Price it like fence right now. $500 a roll. It's outrageous. And obviously I'm a lineman, so I know where to find poles, but
Yeah.
that's a huge cost saver.
Yeah.
And obviously you gotta have some land.
You got to have land.
Yeah, start it. But yeah, just go visit other farms, talk to them.
You get a lot of deer coming around, other attention, just with your pen? Like
You
outside,
talking about
wild deer?
Since the dog's been around, nah, he pretty much it's weird how he can tell the difference between art for deer and if you have anything out in this bean field or anything, he'll just sit there and bark.
Yeah.
Run them off. So at first, when I first got into it, yeah, I had some bucks show up in the rut and stuff. But that double fence helped big time. Once I put that in, that helped big time too. Well, this is where my addiction started, is going after the wild ones. And
So are all these wild up here?
yeah, everything I've harvested. This one is actually my son's. His first buck.
Oh, that's a nice first buck.
Yeah. How old's your son? He got that when he was what, 6? 7?
2 years ago.
Yeah, it's 7.
It was his first deer ever too, right?
My daughter will be out this year. She's 5. She's gonna go with me.
No, it's fun. I love you, Susan.
So how many of them are archery?
He's 2. Just 2.
That's your gun. I go through, it's like bow.
The one downstairs is my big one. I don't know if you've seen him down there.
Yeah.
He's bow too.
And he's got a cool thing in the back that was going into the school.
You got some big deer, huh?